just the other day I had an interesting little debate with a Nazi on a video chat site. Now, what happened was he was strawmanning me. He was trying to twist my words into saying something that I wasn't trying to say, which is actually a very common tactic for Nazis to use. Here's basically how it went down. I said I wanted to build a strong state in order to facilitate the transition to communism. And he made the argument that, well, it's easier to do that based on race instead of class. So why should we pick class instead of race? Because he came up with all this stuff like people more naturally identify towards race. Naturalistic fallacy. And aside from, all that argument right there, and he said, why should we choose race instead of... why should we choose class instead of race? And I said, well, because one's the goal and one's not. He goes, no. You said you wanted to build a strong state. If you're going to build a strong state, why should we use class instead of race? I'm like, well, because it has a completely different goal. No, that's not what I asked you. Why should it be class instead of race? And then just kept shouting over me and then attacking that position. In other words, completely reducing it to just that issue of building a strong state. And then just shouted me down. And then when I tried to get in to show that what he was misrepresenting what I was saying, he booted me from the room so that I couldn't speak. And then strutted around, according to other people who were still in the room left. After that, strutted around like he wanted, this guy's an idiot, I just debunked him. Because the best way to show that you debunk somebody is by kicking them out of the room so they can't speak. Here's the problem. When I am talking about building a state, or when socialists and communists are talking about building a state, we're talking about in order to transition towards a communist world. And to do that, they have to perpetuate a particular consciousness and a particular set of material conditions. Building states based on race would not accomplish that. That's the point, is to not do that. Essentially what he's saying is, why should communists use a tactic? He's trying to essentially argue that I should use a tactic that wouldn't work. Why would I choose to build, if it's easier to build a state on race, then you should do that. But that wouldn't build communism. And that's essentially what he was trying to do to me. Hyper-focus on building a state and completely ignoring the goal of that state. Because I assume from what he was doing, unless he was doing it deliberately, which he probably was, it would be presenting the idea that all states are just the same. A state is a state. The usual libertarian position. So for those who were there and actually saw that debate, that's essentially what he was trying to do. That's what I was trying to explain before he kicked me from the room so that I couldn't answer. Thank you for watching. Go ahead, rate, comment, subscribe, share on various social media. And if you want, there's some other great content here you could check out.